Hiya to the tribes. How's everyone? This is TAIFA World Ministry of Education. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I've got this Federal Rules of Civil Procedures here. How to go to court, how to handle cases. However, I'm not going to go over it today. I just want you to know that I've acquired quite a bit of knowledge through the years. So if you got something in the law, the legal system, send me, put in the comments. I teach you some things that may assist you without charge. Everybody's charging for knowledge. Well, if they pay for it, yeah, I guess they got a right to charge for it. But when you got a library like Google, why you need to pay for knowledge? Because you want somebody to teach you, okay? If you get a good book that you can understand, who's the teacher? Who's the better teacher? Who's the best teacher for you? Yourself. Teach yourself. Stop looking for somebody else to rule over you. Oh, I just keep coming and coming today. This is about my fourth video today. But I got to move when the Spirit leads me. I got to move. Now, I'm going to talk about mental impasse. Yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about religion today. Because I've been fighting a war all my life to get my people, the tribes, so-called black people, trying to get them out of this mental impasse they have in the religion called Christianity. They've been in it for hundreds of years. It has not served us as a people during that time because it's not designed to. So why do our people keep staying stagnant, stuck, limited mind? They just refuse to. And this is the majority. It's not all of us, but it's a majority. The churches has proved to be corrupted. The leaders of the churches, but still, the majority of people go there, mostly women. And I guess it's because they don't want to change. They don't want to change the way of life because this is what they grew up learning and this is what their parents taught. So they got a blind obedience to ignorance. We're supposed to be doing better than our parents. If our parents learned something and followed a certain way of life to get us here, we got to go further than they went. If you don't go no further than your parents, then they have failed you. But you can't blame them. They brought you here. So you can only blame yourself for not wanting to go further. How's everybody today? Anybody got some? Sometimes I do better when I change the topic and go back to it. Don't build up a lot of stress talking about one thing all the time. Okay, I'm going to come back to that. let's talk about what is this Federal Rules of Civil Procedures. Well, when you look at the federal government, it really was created to make things run smoothly between the states, like a referee between the states. The states are the separate nations. Some people call them states, some people call them nations. They're really the authority for the people to follow their state constitution. But there may be chances where the states have a little conflict and things that affect all the states. That's where the federal government is needed. However, they have overused their power and grabbed more and more power. And so they created this procedure, civil procedure, that remind you of civilization, right? We're gonna take something real from you. We're gonna give you a book to civilize you. So this book is given to us, civil procedures, these laws, these rules. So what are they taking from us with this? What are they attempting to take? They're attempting to take your state constitution, which is your governing authority. Now you got states always overrun or supreme power for the individual. But if you let this corporate federal government rule you, then you become a citizen of the corporation. You cannot be a real man in a corporation. Corpse means dead. You can only be a real man when you assert your state rights. I don't guess nobody got that. But what I'm doing here is not for the people who come in, and peep out. It's for people who are going to be coming in the future. Well, if they allow these videos to stay up here, this is not my forum. So, okay, let's get back to what I was talking about. Getting our people over this mental impasse of Christianity. It should be easy to do if you do your research, do your study of the religion. Everything that has been done and said in Christianity came from the Egyptian mystery system. Matter of fact, you go around the world, all these religions come from the Egyptian mystery system. You can find a correlation between Jesus, resurrection, death, and the ancient gods of Egypt. I'm not going to get into it. I want you to do your own study and own research. So we got to get over this mental impasse, people. That's my duty, is to assist you. Because it has done nothing for you. What has it done for you? Well, I'll tell you what it's done for me and my family. My brother won't even speak to me today because I try to teach him something other than what he grew up learning, other than Christianity. I don't know if it's him so much, but his wife, which he follows. However, that aside, if I have something to share, it's my duty to share with you. That's love. And before you reject something, you should investigate it. Why you will not investigate something is because You're at a mental impasse. You just can't get your mind out of where you are. You're stuck. You're stuck. You think if you study, as Timothy 2 says, if you study to show yourself approved, you be going against God. Well, how can you go against God if He made you with a mind to think and to investigate for yourself? Hey, Morris, oh, Dr. Philosopher. Oh, I'm attracting some real heavy hitters here. Yes, they also fear and the slave mind. You're right on it, brother. Not only are they stuck in a mental impasse, it's the fear put in them by the. You know, when someone come and enslave your mind, whew, slaving the body is one thing. You can say you can get free, come and go. But when your mind is enslaved, man, you need help because you cannot unlock that mind. Somebody has to come and assist you. But you got to want it. If you're satisfied, your mind is locked up, nothing's going to change for you. When you begin to open your mind, you can breathe again. You see the beautiful world that is here for you. But you got to take that step. There's so much knowledge out here. Google University, YouTube University, man. How do you stay stuck with a mental impasse in this day and time, unless you choose to? Well, whether you know it or not, this is Judgment Day. Every day is Judgment Day because you're judged for the deeds and the things you do. And your mind will make or break you, the decisions you make. You remember that saying from Dr. Strange? The choices we make rule our lives. Well, that's the main thing I have. You know, I'm not here too long, always under 20 minutes, but I appreciate uh, anyone who come in and talk. Okay, I'm going to go to your site and subscribe since I'm invited. Yes, I will go Morse, Dr. Philosopher, Poet. I will go there and subscribe. And always seeking more knowledge. Because there's always room for more knowledge. The mind is infinite. And the more you learn, the freer you are. Yes, sir. Somebody's message hell for review. They must have been trying to curse me out or something. It's so funny to me when people get emotional on the internet. Man, can't you talk without cursing somebody out? It shows you the trauma state they're in. People just acting out their trauma. And if you living in America, melanated people, man, y'all got to be the greatest people on earth because you're traumatized daily. But you still manage to get through. That show you that nobody could do this but you. Nobody could undergo this assignment 400 years but you. That should prove you right there who you are. Let's take another people for example. Let's take the Italian. They got part of us in them. That's where the dark skin come from. back a few generations. They all mixed with the general population now. But when they came here, they was pretty dark, and they was rejected, despised, not accepted into the regular way of life of the man here. So they was forced to crime. You saw The Godfather, right? Yeah, they was forced to go to crime to eat. Then after a few generations, hey, they start moving up. We're gonna get into the real crime. Remember, he said, the higher I got up, the more corruption I found. So he gonna go into the real criminal system, which is government and politics. But at least it'd be better than bootlegging whiskey and things like that. So that's what they did. The whole Godfather's all three parts tells you that whole story, how they got themselves out of a pretty bad situation in this society. And in just a few, maybe 100 years or less. So why are we stuck all these years and won't better ourselves? One thing that people have is unity. You gotta have unity. You gotta care for each other. Nobody else outside of your family is going to care for you unless you're united with your own people. You know, when I grew up, man, everybody was family. You know, I grew up down in the South and in Texas, and man, we spoke to everybody. You knew everybody. You was on good terms with everybody. Man, I came up north, started speaking to people. Do you know me? Who are you? What, you know, they got all this fear for speaking to somebody who they don't know. I said, man, that's different. I never experienced that down south. But yeah, they very guarded, and I guess there's a reason for that because skin folks don't mean kin folks don't mean kin folks. Skin folks don't mean kin folks, so I can understand that. A little more sophisticated in who you deal with. So, I don't know where I was going with that. Yeah, we need to have unity, people. You got to have unity. Even in The Godfather, they had kept some of their old ways. You remember they had this wedding ceremony? Everybody got together and they had fun and danced and ate. Yeah, that's they played their own music. That's the old ways. They remember their ancestors. See, that's a key. Remember where they come from. Now they say that you come from Africa. Okay, do you know where? Do you have a history in your family? Well, if you can't prove you did, it's hearsay. I'm sure most of us have someone in our family who says it was part Indian. Like my grandmother may have long hair, you know, that was a sign of Indian heritage, and other things. There's so much to who we are as a people. We're such a great people, so we got to get out this ignorance. And I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part here, trying to assist in waking up the masses, getting you out your mental impasse, held there by fear and a slave mentality. Yeah, I've been talking about this slave mentality ever since I remember. I was a teenager talking about this slave mentality. So that's my time. Hi to the tribes. I'll sail